Hello, everyone. Today's story begins with America's favorite board game, chess. The game where tiny plastic kings, queens, and horses fight for dominance on a checkered vinyl board. Well, chess.com posed the question, what should the name of the bishop piece change to? Let's see what users of Elon Musk's X, the Everything app, came up with. Oh, wow. It's wild how something as simple as renaming a chess piece can bring out this. But this isn't just about chess. The media has a way of picking up any conversation and warping it into something dangerous. And that's where misinformation and disinformation come in. Misinformation is when false information spreads because people genuinely believe it. However, disinformation, that's when false information is intentionally spread to manipulate or deceive their audience. Like the idea that Chinese lasers started the Hawaii wildfires or that the Denver airport is an Illuminati base. These aren't just random internet hoaxes. They are part of a growing wave of conspiracy theories that have made their way into mainstream conversations, and people on both sides of the political spectrum believe in them. The similarities are surprising. Liberals and conservatives alike, despite their disagreements, often subscribe to the same narratives, like the belief in a hidden shadow government pulling all the strings. It suggests this polarization might be two sides of the same coin, shared fears dressed in different languages. So we hit the streets to see what everyday people are hearing and some believing when it comes to conspiracy theories. We'll be showing clips from one conservative and one liberal. Let's take a look, starting with our conservative interviewee. So, do you have any thoughts on the recent California wildfires?
Oh, for sure. Look, the wildfires, not natural at all. Not even close. They were started by government lasers from space, straight up energy based weapons. I mean, you can literally see the beams if you slow down the footage and know what you're looking for. But they'll say it's climate change. Yeah, okay. Meanwhile, the elites are just clearing land to build their weird little smart cities where you need a QR code just to scan in and buy eggs. And the 5G stuff, oh yeah, it's real. People laughed at it, but tell me where the towers started popping up right after the vaccines. The jab, full of nanotech. Microscopic metal, probably graphene, probably alien in origin. Either way, it's reactive to 5G frequencies. It scrambles your thoughts, makes you easier to control. That's why I keep my phone in a Faraday pouch and wear copper threaded socks.
For mind control, from the ankles up.
Exactly. People don't get it. That's where your bioelectric field starts. Trust, bro. Just look at QAnon. Q knows what's up. You got to read between the drops. The lizard people, totally real. The politicians, celebs, tech bros, they've all been replaced. Pay attention to the eyes. There's this one video from 2016 that clearly shows Justin Bieber's pupils going vertical. That's not editing, that's reptilian manifestation.
Eye-opening. Thank you. Wow. All right then. Let's see what our liberal interviewee has to say. So, what is your take on vaccines?
Well, I'm absolutely pro vax, but because I'm also pro autism, of course. I vaccine regularly to keep my autism updated to the latest version. I'm also absolutely convinced that Donald Trump is a shape-shifting lizard person who was recruited as a Russian spy by the KGB when he visited Moscow in the late 80s, and he's been working for them ever since. It explains everything, especially how the election was rigged, all that ballot fraud, and even Russia's involvement with controlling the US media. It's all right there if you look closely.
And what proof or evidence do you have of this?
First of all, Trump being a shape-shifting lizard person would explain how he was just magically able to grow back his ear after being shot. And what's even worse, their main mission is to suppress humanity's spiritual awakening by using 5G and chemtrails to block our third eye chakra to keep us as puppets to control. But don't worry, wear a clear quartz crystal and just ask your spirit guides for protection and you'll be free from these evil forces.
Wow. All right. Moving on from shape-shifting lizard people and third eye chakra blockages, let's dive back into a world where things make sense. Or maybe not. How do these conspiracy theories even start? Ultimately, the issues in society aren't caused by some secret deep state drinking babies' adrenochrome underground. No, it's much more straightforward. It's the billionaires, the people at the top, constantly trying to generate more wealth for themselves while the rest of us get left behind. But how do these conspiracies spread? Here's the kicker. The rich often spread these conspiracy theories so the working class doesn't get angry at them for societal woes, but rather outgroups, people like immigrants, or let's be honest, often the Jews if you look deep enough. So before you blame your neighbor, your coworker, or your barista for being a deep state operative, ask yourself, Is it more likely that they're part of a global cabal or that Jeff Bezos just doesn't want to pay his taxes? The truth is, the rich and powerful push these theories to make anyone who questions the system seem irrational, discrediting their concerns. They even buy media sources like Musk with Twitter or Bezos with the Washington Post. This is why your X feed is constantly filled with weird nerds complaining about the newest video game being too woke because the women in it don't make them horny enough. But how can it be resolved? Here's the thing. This can't truly be solved at a societal level until people's basic needs are met. If Americans can't afford necessities like food and shelter in the richest country in the history of the world, they're going to look for someone to blame. Otherwise, we're going to find ourselves in the midst of the Fourth Reich, this time with way more burgers. At the same time, a healthy sense of skepticism is always important to have. So what we can do is focus on real issues and on who's really behind them. This way, we could create our own version of the New World Order, one that's actually fair and impactful. So maybe the bishop doesn't need a new name, but the kings, maybe it's time we start checking them.
And the 5G stuff? Oh yeah, it's real. People laughed at it, but tell me when the tower started popping up. You're laughing. He's laughing. He's laughing. I had it. He's at you.
I'm trying so hard not to laugh. It's like hard. Okay.